you know, as an actor, you get the chance to portray scenes. And for example, I'm up for a drama where there's comic elements in it. I'm looking at one line and I'm thinking there are a multitude of options available to you on one line. If the character you're understanding has a limited amount of visible attributes within the scene, so you're to glean what the character is from the moments that he has screen time, for example. It's knowing. My question is, how does one know what beats to put in a line, whether they be overly comic? Is it the eyes? Is it the speech pattern? Is it the tone of the voice? Is it a gesture? I seem to notice that in acting on screen and on television and film, the subtlety of acting has become so finite now that the skill of the actor in a comic premise, so much of it is doing almost nothing to achieve a roar of laughter. And when watching the films the clips that we saw yesterday, particularly I Love Lucy, which the comedy was broad, it was big. I find now it's almost it's so inert that it's a really fascinating journey to know what momentum to build in the scene, but to know exactly the tone that one should put in the line to gain the laugh. Is there
I don't know
a
that there's
hard and fast
one.
rule?
I don't think that there's one hard and fast rule. I think that it has to come from character. That whatever you choose the character to be, if the character is interesting, the character will say the line or approach the moment in an interesting way.
Mm,
Again, um, uh, you want to uh, invent by recollecting. Can Who is this guy?
mm,
And what makes him weird or distinct, and how would this guy approach this moment? Um, because better than making the right choice, being truthful uh, and being direct, I think is a better choice. And if you're working with a good director, a director will give you a couple of shots at it.
right.
So if you're working with a direct, if you're not like on this timeline in which you're one take and done. If you're working with a Judd Apatow, he'll give you a dozen ways to approach something. One example of that is in Bridesmaids. There's this wonderful scene between a young actress whose name I don't know and Kristen Wiig, in which Kristen Wiig is telling her, don't buy a friendship bracelet because you don't know if your friendship will last. And she's kind of just thinking about her own situation, and it pisses this young girl off, and they start insulting each other. And it's a brilliant scene, and it ends with her calling this girl the C word, and she gets fired. But if you go on Google and on YouTube and Google that, you will come up with a 12-minute scene that they cut from to create that 2-minute scene in the movie. 12 minutes of improv,
Wow.
brilliant improv in which Kristen Wiig is in pain, in loss, and is attacking this girl back who is in the arrogance of youth, confident and sure in her insults towards Kristen Wiig, and it wasn't scripted. It's brilliant. It's totally improvised, and you could see that the funny lines come out of character, and the brilliant director simply chose the best moments and put the best moments together. So I think the answer is trust the character, come out of the truth of the character. Um, don't focus on what's funny, focus on what's true, and hope that the character shines through. When people ask me, um, how do I audition with this script? It's terrible. I say, don't play the script, play the character. Find the character in yourself or in your circle of acquaintances and make that the choice. And at the worst, it'll be a good acting exercise, but at the best, you might book something because it's about being truthful as the character. And if the character, I mean, we've all gone to work and gone to school with people who are weird, who, when other people in that office got together, would make fun of them, right? Because they made us laugh because they were so weird. Just put that person on stage. If they made you laugh around a the break room table, they'll make somebody else laugh. But if you do it out of truth, and I wouldn't say kindness, but out of a sense of you're not. And somebody else asked me a question about parody, and this is almost the answer to parody. You're doing it out of love, as opposed to maliciousness or venom. Comedy out of venom rarely works, but comedy out of love and appreciation. I love this guy. He's such an idiot. That's why you're sharing stories about him, because they're a fun idiot, as opposed to I hate this guy.
Mm.
Hate is really not a good color for comedy. Even if you're doing a character like Basil Fawlty, it's, listen, he's a human being. He puts on his pants one leg at a time. He's got 2 legs. He's got 10 fingers. So do you. Look at all you have in common. Your DNA is not that different. So to make fun of a character, you have to remember you're making fun of yourself too.